Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly finding out the bus pass you've depended on for years might not work anymore. That feeling of uncertainty is exactly what many people over 70 in the UK might face in 2025. A lot of people still have no idea what's about to change, and that's why this information matters. This isn't fear-mongering, and it's not an exaggeration. These new rules can affect how you travel, how you stay connected with loved ones, and how easily you reach essential places like hospitals, shops, and community spaces. For so many older people across the UK, the bus pass is more than a card. It's part of their independence. It's the way they move around without relying on anyone else. And with the cost of living pressure, having a free travel option is a lifeline. But from 2025, serious changes are being introduced to the system. Nothing is being taken away overnight, but the structure, the requirements, and how you keep your pass active are all being updated. The whole idea, according to the government, is to make the scheme more secure and sustainable for the future, but it's still going to require action from anyone over 70. One of the biggest changes is something called verification checks. Councils across the UK will be doing more frequent checks to make sure the people using bus passes actually live in the area and still qualify. If you already have a pass, you might receive a letter asking you to confirm your details. This doesn't mean your benefits are being removed. It just means they want to update their records. You might be asked to show proof of address like a council tax letter, a utility bill, or a bank statement. Some councils may also want photo ID like a passport or a driving license. Many people wonder why they have to prove their identity again after using the same bus pass for years, and the official explanation is simply prevention of misuse. The important thing is not to ignore any letters. If you don't respond, your pass could be paused until everything is confirmed. Councils usually give plenty of time to reply, and most of them now have online verification options. If you don't use the internet, you can still sort it out in person or by phone. Another big change is automatic renewal for people over 70. In the old system, you had to reapply every few years, fill out forms, or visit council offices. From 2025, most passes for those over 70 will renew automatically as long as your details are correct and you haven't moved. This is great news because it removes a lot of unnecessary paperwork and reduces the risk of someone accidentally letting their pass expire. But this automatic renewal only works if your council has the right information on file. If your address doesn't match their system, you may still need to renew manually. There's also been talk in some areas about possibly adding income-based restrictions in the future. This is not a nationwide rule and hasn't been confirmed as an official policy. A few councils with tight budgets have discussed means testing, where people with high private pensions might face extra checks. For now, in most of the UK, income does not affect eligibility for those over 70. But it's still smart to keep an eye on your local council's announcements in case your region is considering adjustments. Another modern update coming in 2025 is the introduction of digital bus passes. Many councils want to offer passes that can be stored on smartphones. That means instead of a physical card, you could use a QR code or tap your phone like contactless payment. This is very convenient for people who use smartphones regularly. You won't have to worry about losing your card or waiting for a replacement if it gets damaged. But a large number of people over 70 don't use smartphones or don't feel confident with apps. Thankfully, physical cards will still be available, and nobody will be forced to switch to digital if they don't want to. Digital options might make renewals easier, but traditional cards will continue to work as normal. The rules across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland differ slightly. In England, eligibility for the free bus pass starts at the state pension age, which is currently 66 and will rise to 67. But in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, people can apply from age 60. That means someone in Wales could get their pass years earlier than someone in England. These differences remain unchanged in 2025, so it's important to know the rules for your specific area. People with disabilities also remain fully supported under the updated system. If you qualify for a disability-based bus pass, you don't have to be pension age to receive it. The main update here is that councils will now ask for more up-to-date medical documentation, and they may ask for renewals every 2 or 3 years. This is to make sure that eligibility remains accurate. So if you hold a disability pass, keep your documents ready and don't ignore requests. The renewal process itself will become more standard from 2025. Most passes will clearly show an expiry date and councils will send reminders long before that date arrives. Again, online systems are becoming more common, but in-person help will always be available for those who prefer it. The most important thing is not to leave things until the last minute, especially during the transition period when many councils are dealing with higher workloads. There's been a rumor that these changes are the first step towards ending the free bus pass altogether. This has caused a lot of anxiety, but there is no plan to remove the scheme. The free pass remains an important support for older and disabled people. The government sees it as essential for independence, social connection, and mobility. The goal of updating the system is to reduce fraud, modernize the structure, and keep costs under control so the scheme can continue long-term. So what should you do right now to keep everything running smoothly? First, check the expiry date printed on your bus pass. If it's coming up soon, begin the renewal process early. Second, make sure your council has your correct address and contact information. Third, gather your essential documents, proof of address, ID, and anything else you might need. Fourth, keep an eye on your post or email. Councils will be sending out important letters, and these shouldn't be ignored. And fifth, consider creating an online account with your council if you're comfortable. It can speed things up and give you access to updates. Talking to people in the community shows that reactions are mixed. Some welcome the convenience of automatic renewals and clearer systems. Others feel uneasy about the extra checks, worried that they're being treated unfairly. A lot of concerns revolve around technology, especially for those who aren't familiar with smartphones or computers. Many also feel their councils haven't explained the changes clearly enough. The rollout is happening at different speeds region by region. What applies in one area might not start in another area for months. So always check your own council's information rather than relying on what someone else heard. It's also important to remember why this scheme matters. Free bus passes help older people stay socially active, attend appointments, visit friends, and remain independent. This reduces loneliness, improves mental health, and even lowers pressure on the NHS because people stay more active and connected. The scheme benefits society as much as it benefits individual users.